But,
doesn't Russia not exist in the Steven universe?
What the fuck did you just say? I have no idea.
Russia doesn't exist in Steven universe.
If you say so.
I remember seeing a world map at one point, and Russia was just missing.
Is that you? Hi. Oh my God, Bender. I am Kevin. Are you Dr. Zoidberg?
Connor, I don't know what you're talking about. You're the only one who decided to dress up today.
Welcome back to Fruity Cereal. I'm your host, Leela.
And I am your host, Kevin. And
welcome back to Fruity Cereal.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm still rocking with what little time I have left with this eye patch. I don't, as I told our producer, I don't half-ass anything except for everything because this look is abysmal. And I will never wear this again. This wig is going straight in the garbage the minute we finish recording. This is, ugh.
How much did that wig cost?
I think it was $24.
Okay, that's...
Yeah. I mean, it's a wig in a bag. No, it's a yes, a wig in it's a Party City wig. I hate it so much.
Does it itch?
It itches. Oh my God, I hate this thing.
Are you wearing a cap underneath it?
No.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to do that.
I know, but Kevin, I spent $24 on the wig. I'm going to spend more money on a cap? No fucking way.
Oh.
Again, okay, remember, I don't get paid to do this show.
I have a cap somewhere, but I have no idea where it is, though.
A lot of good that does me, but anyway.
Yeah. Or you could just use pantyhose, too.
Are you accusing me of owning pantyhose in my day-to-day life, Kevin? What the fuck kind of gay do you think I am?
Okay, geez.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, welcome back to Fruity Cereal.
Welcome back. Take a seat and grab a bowl. It's time for some Fruity Cereal.
I didn't approve this. Kevin's gone renegade. Absolutely not. Don't ever do that.
Okay, well, you can pitch your theme song then.
We don't have... I mean, I guess our theme song would be like the loading track, but I honestly don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then maybe don't shoot down my idea if you don't have one to counter it.
But yours is not very interesting.
I mean, it would if there was like some instrumental like beats behind it, but like I don't know.
Here's the thing. If you would like to write us a theme song, please reach out, leave a comment, send us your resume, and we'll see if you can write us a theme.
We should get an email address. We should make one.
Another thing I hate about this wig is hair fucking everywhere. I have eaten more strands of this synthetic fucking hair than I think actual food in the last hour. Oh my God. Anyway.
Oh, that was like me with that monkey mask, that monkey cowl.
I remember when you had that on, you looked like you were miserable. You were picking stuff out of your teeth.
Yeah, that thing sheds like crazy. It was wild.
Mug of the day. Kevin, guess what?
What?
This is my last mug.
This is your last one? This
is the last mug. Actually, you know what? I have one more. I have a really cool Maleficent. No, I have a cool Ursula mug that I haven't used yet. But this is like, I was looking through my collection and I was like, holy shit, I think I've done everything. But yeah, this one is, this is actually like another podcast, not sponsored by any means, but it's from my favorite podcast that's not my own. Out for Blood, the story of Carrie the Musical. Do you know what Shelley calls her?
And who says that? Who says that line?
That's Chris, the bad girl. Like, do you know what Shelley calls her? Shelley calls her scary white. I just call her stupid bitch. That's the actual line. I'm not trying to be funny. But yeah, no, that was I really like that show. Check it out on the Broadway Podcast Network. Not sponsored. I just
not really sponsored. Connor, do you know what day today is?
It is yes, I do actually. Today, Kevin, is World Party Day.
No, the date that we're recording this, ya bobo.
Yeah, it's Fun Day.
I mean, for some people, yeah.
Yeah, Fun Day. And tomorrow's World Autism Day. I can finally reach my full form. But I guess... yeah, it is April Fool's Day. I wish I could say that played some part in this disaster look I'm sporting, but it is not.
Oh, Okay. Yeah, I guess I should have dressed up for that, but I didn't. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I kind of missed the ball on that. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's a little shameful. You came so unprepared.
I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry.
Okay, I hate this wig. Let's continue. I just want to jump. Ew. Let's jump right into the big topic this week. Kevin, Donald Trump got indicted.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of a little indifferent to it, honestly, because like I don't know if anything's actually gonna happen. Like, I'm sorry, not to be pessimistic. It's just I don't know.
It's well, not for nothing. Nobody really knows how to handle the situation because he is the first former or sitting president ever to be indicted on criminal charges. So nobody really knows what the protocol is. Like they said, the Secret Service said you cannot handcuff former President Donald Trump. We're not going to allow that. And now, like, everybody's just like, oh shit, what do we do now? And like, I'm in the same boat as you. I was like, realistically, I don't know if anything is going to happen, but it's still fun. Like, first we impeached him, now we indicted him. It's great.
Yeah,
small victories where we can find
it
them.
is small victories, I suppose.
Speaking of terrible people, we got a lot to talk about, but I think you have some stories you wanted to bring up at first, right?
Yes, I do. I do have some stories in my new segment called Sounds Gay. I'm in.
Woo.
All right, so first story is Kentucky governor vetoes bill that would ban gender-affirming care for trans youth.
Okay. Vetoes it. So
yes, he vetoed it. So Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed the Republican-backed bill banning gender-affirming care for trans youth. On March 17th, conservative lawmakers passed Senate Bill 150 in the House with a 75-22 vote and in the Senate with a 30-7 vote. Under the horrific legislation, all forms of gender-affirming care for trans minors would be banned, including hormone therapy and surgical procedures. The bill would also require doctors and healthcare providers to detransition youth who are currently receiving gender-affirming care. After a week of outcry from LGBTQ activists, Beshear announced his veto of the bill in a written statement on March 24th. Senate Bill 150 allows too much government interference in personal healthcare issues and rips away the freedom of parents to make medical decisions for their children, he explained. Now, isn't that ironic that I believe that this is a Democratic governor? I'm not sure, actually. That doesn't say, but it's ironic that, Republicans are all, the Republican Party's main thing is, at least supposedly, supposed to be little government interference. And yet, this is all about government interference.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I mean, we don't like to get too political on the show, Kevin. I don't have anything nice to say, so I want to stay quiet.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Well, that's fine. We'll go to, here's a story that you might have something to say.
Uh-oh.
Fans go wild after new footage of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn in Joker 2.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about it.
Following new footage from the forthcoming Joker sequel, monsters. You mean little monsters, right?
However you choose to identify.
Little monsters are hailing Lady Gaga's role as Harley Quinn as a win for the gays. Over the weekend, clips of the star filming the upcoming blockbuster titled Folie à Deux. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Folie à Deux.
Oh, really? Foley? It's actually pronounced Foley?
Foley.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Folie à Deux went viral on the internet. In character, Gaga can be seen walking up the stairs of the New York County Supreme Court before landing a surprise kiss on an unknown female bystander who is holding a newspaper with pictures of Harley Quinn on the front page alongside the headline Crazy in Love. The title character's face is also on the newspaper with a smaller headline reading Joker has a new love. Joaquin Phoenix was also spotted on the set as Joker / Arthur Fleck. According to social media detectives, the bystander shouts, "You're going to hell," before Gaga lands the kiss and tells her, "Now we're both going to hell."
Okay, let's start at the beginning. First of all, when is this movie supposed to come out? Next year?
Yeah, I think so.
24?
Or maybe it's later this year. I'm not sure.
I mean, all right. But I remember when they first made the announcement that Gaga was going to be in a sequel to The Joker. And second of all, it's a musical. Is it not?
Yes, it says 2024 film, so I think it is coming out this year. Yep, it says release date October 4th, 2024.
So that's next year.
Oh, that's next year.
You forgot what year it was, Kevin?
I did.
Oh my
I dead
God.
ass forgot what year it was.
Kevin.
Whoops.
Wow. Jesus. Anyway.
Time is an illusion.
Yeah, well. Yeah, when they announced that Lady Gaga was going to be in a Joker sequel, everybody immediately was like, oh, so she's Harley Quinn, right? And everybody in the studio is just like, well, we're not releasing character names yet. We don't know exactly if that's how it's going to play out. And it's like, so she's Harley Quinn, right?
It's like, she's Harley Quinn.
And now we see the videos of her going up the steps of the New York, blah, blah, blah.
Which do you think it's going to be the New York Supreme Courthouse, or do you think it's going to be the Gotham Supreme
It's got to
Court?
be the Gotham. Yeah.
Does New York even exist in the DC universe?
Gotham is the stand-in for New York because there's a lot of copyrighted building images in New York and they don't want to get into legal trouble. So like, Gotham is the stand-in. It's whatever.
Right. Well, that's kind of weird because Washington, D.C. exists in the DC universe. So it's not like a completely different America with fictional cities. It's like...
That's like what they do in Steven Universe. They're like, I live in Beach City. I'm going to Empire City. And then they're like, oh yeah, I live in Oregon, Nevada, Canada. And I'm wait a minute. You get to pick and choose what's a real location in your universe. But,
doesn't Russia not exist in the Steven universe?
What the fuck did you just say? I have no idea.
Russia doesn't exist in Steven universe.
If you say so.
I remember seeing a world map at one point and Russia was just missing.
Damn, okay. I mean, that's probably intentional knowing Rebecca Sugar. But...
Yeah, it's like, yeah, she's probably like, well, you know, Russia's going to ban the gays and the gays are going to ban Russia.
But anyway, Lady Gaga. So did you see how she looks in the...
I did. It reminds me a lot of how Harley Quinn dressed in the Telltale game.
I was going to say it reminds me of how she dressed in the Birds of Prey TV series that flopped.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people were saying that, too. I never saw that. I never saw that, though, so I don't...
Neither did anyone
I'm not
else.
really
it's
familiar.
Fine.
I didn't even know that Harley Quinn was in that show. I thought it was just...
Neither did anyone else. Because there was a character who was going to end up being Harley Quinn. Like, there's a very clear, like, she's got, like, you know, the checkerboard look and everything. But the show got canceled and they never went anywhere with that plot line. So it just flopped. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for this movie, especially since I actually didn't enjoy the original Joker like that much.
It was definitely overrated.
It was number one, overrated, but number two, it's not Joker. It's a completely new story. And that's not a bad thing, but I was just like, this isn't Joker. You know what I mean?
The movie would have been so much better if it actually had nothing to do with DC Comics at all. Like,
if they went the route of Halle Berry's Catwoman and like just made it like, we're nothing to do with anything DC, we're our own original story, and just went from there, it would have been so much better.
Yeah, because like the parts of the movie that really took me out of it were the parts where they were like trying to like remind you that this is like in the Batman universe. It's like, oh, see, God, there's Thomas Wayne. See, look, there's Bruce Wayne. There's Wayne Manor. Oh, look, there's the Waynes getting killed. I bet you haven't seen that. Enough of that.
I know, really. God almighty. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm probably gonna end up seeing this movie. Like, I'm whole hog into it now.
Yeah, this does look pretty. It looks pretty exciting, and I really do hope that like it flows a lot more naturally than the first movie did. And also, this movie, it does kind of make sense that we have this because in the DCEU, we never really got like a movie to establish Harley Quinn. Like, we got like little bits of her backstory in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And also in the beginning of Birds of Prey. But like,
that was super rushed though. And also Harley's an unreliable narrator. We don't know if half of the stuff she's talking about is just like delusions that she's come up with.
That's true. That's true. But like, yeah, it did feel like really rushed exposition. Especially in, I thought it was pretty sloppily done in Suicide Squad. Like,
yeah, no, it was
like because they had so much to go over. Like, they was like, okay, so we got to get over this character's backstory and this character's backstory, this character's backstory. Okay, we got to go.
The original Suicide Squad movie, I think, would have fared better as like a Netflix miniseries. Like,
well, it would have fared better if we had gotten to be introduced to at least most of those characters in like established other DC movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was
Make
so
it a crossover instead of like a one-off thing.
exactly, because that's kind of this is what Suicide Squad is. It's a crossover movie. It's a crossover of all these different villains of these different characters. You know, you got you know you got Batman villains, you got Flash villains, you got
which is weird because they
I'm not
had
sure
like footage of them.
I'm not sure who Enchantress is supposed to be a villain of, but she's there too. Sorry, what were we saying?
No, it was weird because they established it like you have footage of like Harley with Batman, Captain Boomerang with Flash, and it's like they almost treat the audience. You'd be like, oh, remember when they had these interactions when you've seen them before? It's almost like,
and it's like, no, this is the first time we're seeing you into
thinking you've seen these characters before, haven't you?
And it's like, no, this is the first time we're seeing any of them.
Absolutely.
That's also kind of partially why the Suicide Squad works a little bit better, because most of those characters kind of don't really have anything to do with any like other characters. Like their stories are not really related to any of the other characters, like Peacemaker and Bloodsport. You know, they like their backstories really don't really have much to do with other characters. So it's like, who cares? And Harley, like, you know, they kind of don't really go into her backstory in that movie too, but it's like, well, she's already like 3 movies into this franchise. You know who she is by now.
Yeah, absolutely. She's
Anyway,
next story.
Yes, next story. Heartstopper author Alice Oseman slams U.S. book ban. Homophobia is thriving. Heartstopper author Alice Oseman has warned that racist and anti-LGBTQ rhetoric are thriving after her graphic novel was banned in part of Florida. It was one of more than 50 books to be banned in the Clay County School District in Florida, according to the Florida Freedom to Read Project. Many of the restricted books were written by LGBTQ authors and or discuss sexuality and gender identity. The first 3 books in Oseman's Heartstopper series are among those that were banned, as well as her 2016 novel Radio Silence, which also features an array of LGBTQ characters. In a statement posted on Instagram stories, Oseman stated that the banned books are usually inclusive of LGBTQ people and people of color.
Yeah, big surprise there.
Yep, and it's like, and one person's commenting, you know who else banned books? You know.
Yeah, not surprised in the slightest. I'm just sad. I didn't read the Heartstopper books, but just like I'm saying,
I still need to get around to watching that show.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard nothing but great stuff about it, but I'm, a jaded single gay man, so therefore other people's happiness pisses me off. So tale as old as time, right? But even if the books that were getting banned were stuff I didn't agree with, like, I don't like the idea of like anything becoming lost media. Callback.
Oh my god.
I don't like seeing that happen. So obviously this one kind of hits me on a personal note. So I'm very sad that this is happening.
Yes, it is very sad.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep, all we gotta do is we gotta keep fighting this. We gotta keep fighting these book bans.
I am gonna fight with my wig. I hate this thing so much, Kevin. Let's talk fast so I can take it off.
Okay. All right. So next story. Wizards of Waverly Place showrunner says Selena Gomez's character was meant to have a queer romance with Hayley Kiyoko.
I did see that. That was something I was like following for a little bit.
I'm assuming they mean Hayley Kiyoko's character. And not actually Hayley Kiyoko. She did play a character in the show, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh God, what was her name? I don't. God, that show's been off the air for like 10 years. I can't remember.
Right. I'm not too versed in Wizards of Waverly Place. I didn't really watch it that much when it was on. So, like I've seen a few episodes. I'm vaguely familiar. Like basically, I know the part about the show that makes it different is that like the brother is the one who's like a stickler to the rules, and the sister is the one who's like a troublemaker.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, see, it's different from most family sitcoms because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Anyway, the story itself. Peter Murrieta. I believe it's Peter Murrieta. Peter Marietta, former showrunner of Wizards of Waverly Place, has confirmed a long-standing theory about series protagonist Alex Russo, played by Selena Gomez. On the most recent episode of the Wizards of Waverly Pod, hosted by former stars Jennifer Stone, Harper Finkel, and David DeLuise, Jerry Russo,
DeLuise.
DeLuise? Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Marietta was asked if there were storylines he wished he could have explored further. I wish we could have played more with what was quite obvious to a lot of us, which was the relationship between Stevie and Alex, he said. We weren't able to at the time, but it was pretty clear to all of us what that relationship was, and that would have been fun.
I mean, when you think about how far we've come with LGBTQ representation, this was not that long ago, and it was still considered a huge risk to show that.
But I don't know. I think if it was today, I think they could have gone for it.
They would go for it and make a big deal out of it.
At least by the last season.
Here's the thing: they would go for it, and then there'd be an article on BuzzFeed saying Disney's first LGBTQ character in a TV series that starts with a W.
Probably.
God, yeah.
Yeah. They probably would get that Disney's first stuff. Although I don't know, articles have stopped doing that when Disney.
I know. I think they're finally
they're finally okay, yeah, this umpteenth queer character is not the first gay character in a Disney thing. Let's slow down.
Yeah. Oh my God, what if they make Sebastian gay in The Little Mermaid?
You mean he's not?
He's into music. He is. Yeah. No, I think he's fruit flavoring. He's got something there.
He's definitely fruity.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, sorry.
He's a fruity little crab. Anyway, so next story. Daniel Radcliffe has hosted a roundtable of trans and non-binary youth for the Trevor Project.
I saw this and it made me so happy.
Yes. Daniel Radcliffe hosted a roundtable of transgender and non-binary youth as part of Sharing Space, a new content series from the Trevor Project. The series will feature conversations with LGBTQ young people moderated by allies of the community and comes at a time when a record number of anti-LGBTQ bills, the majority of which target trans plus people, are being considered in various U.S. states. Radcliffe took part in the inaugural episode of Sharing Space, where he heard from 6 trans plus people as they candidly discussed topics such as gender euphoria, respecting pronouns, self-discovery, and what genuine allyship looks like. It was an absolute privilege to get to meet and listen to this incredible group of young people. At the end of the day, if you're going to talk about trans kids, it might be useful to actually listen to trans kids, Radcliffe said.
If you ever hear me talking about how you can't trust men in Hollywood, just know that at no point do I ever put Daniel Radcliffe in that group. He is... Oh, God, I love him so much.
He is. It's he's doing he is doing so much to piss off J.K. Rowling.
I mean... He is the chosen one. He will defeat the Dark One.
He is the chosen one who will defeat the Dark One. Yes, it's true. Wow. J.K. Rowling really did write that into prophecy.
Oh, God, this poor actor. He's great. Now I gotta cause a revolution. I just want to retire.
I don't think he's ready to retire yet.
Here's the thing. He doesn't have to work another day in his life, and he'll be fine. He's made enough with Harry Potter that he can retire now.
Yeah, but I think that he still wants to do I mean, here's the thing. Have you seen his resume, his post Harry Potter resume? He does a lot of weird things.
And that's the best part. Is
Swiss
when you
Army.
get to do the weird shit, the experimental shit. That's great.
Yeah, Swiss Army Man,
the
Guns
Swiss Army
Akimbo.
Man was fucking horrifying.
You seen Swiss Army Man?
Yeah, that's the one where he plays the dead body that has he plays a corpse, right?
Yes.
Yes, that is yes.
Yes, and that movie was directed by the Daniels, who made Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
And then did you see Guns Akimbo?
No.
The one where he just has guns stapled to it. He wakes up with guns stapled to his hands or nailed to his hands. Yeah.
Not a clue.
Yeah,
this is the glory of like establishing yourself as a young actor and then getting to do the weird shit.
Yeah.
Because
what do you? Okay, I know you don't care about superhero shit, but what do you
Well.
think about him being cast as Wolverine
oh, in what movie?
in the MCU?
What? When
Well,
did this happen?
It didn't. It didn't. This is just what people.
Kevin.
These are people's fan casts of him.
Kevin, get the fuck out of here. Now I'm angry at you.
I didn't say he was cast as him.
I know, but like
I said,
now
what
I'm
do you
angry.
think about that?
I don't think about it because it's not real.
Okay, but assuming it was real, what would you think about that?
I would say, Kevin, I really think that Daniel Radcliffe, he's like the male Meryl Streep. He can play anything and it's a good fit. I really genuinely think he's that good of an actor.
Did you see The Lost City?
No.
Oh my god, he's so good in that one. He plays the villain in that movie, and he's so funny.
Love that.
Yeah, you should definitely see The Lost City. Very funny movie. Anyway, Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. Yes, very funny. Anyway, next story. Texas judge strikes down free access to PrEP under Obamacare on religious grounds.
Of course.
Yep. A federal judge in Texas has ruled that the requirement to cover HIV prevention drug PrEP violates the religious rights of individuals and employers. District Court Judge Reed O'Connor, who was an appointee of President George W. Bush to the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas, has thrown the requirement for insurance providers to cover the range of other preventative services, such as mammograms and colonoscopies, under the Affordable Care Act into doubt. The ruling has the potential to affect the nearly 168 million people on employer health insurance and on Obamacare's individual market.
Yep.
It's like, first of all, this is not a homosexuality thing. This is a disease prevention thing.
Yeah, no, but they're still thinking that we're in the 80s when it's quote unquote killing the right people. Like when it was just a disease that was only being contracted by the gay men and they were dying left, right, and center. And they think it's still like that. And they're like, oh, well, if we can deny their access to this pre-exposure prophylaxis, they'll start dying again. It's evil.
And that's their religious freedom. It's like, that's not so stupid.
Yeah, if God wants you to die, then you deserve to die. So I fucking hate religion. Anyway.
And yet you are religious.
Am I?
I don't know. You've told me that you are. Did something
change? A lot has changed in the past couple of years, Kevin. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
All right. Okay. So, this next story. Okay. So, yeah, we've had a few sad stories, but this next one is a bit, it's a bit uplifting. Judge pauses Tennessee law restricting drag performances day before it was set to take effect.
I did see that. That was a nice little silver lining.
Yes, Judge Thomas Parker delayed the enforcement of HB 9 for 14 days while the court considers its constitutionality.
Can you imagine if they find this constitutionally protected? Like the forefathers clearly were just thinking about all these men that like to put on heels and do a clown act. They should go right next to the Bear Arms Clause. Yeah. Truly.
At this point, the court finds that the statute is likely both vague and overly broad, Parker wrote in the order, adding that the state has so far failed to provide a compelling government interest for why it should regulate drag performances so severely.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's meant to be vague and big loose terms because
exactly, and he's basically just calling it out for that. He's like, no, too vague.
Absolutely, because it's step one into making it illegal to be trans. For the birth certificate doesn't match what you're dressing up as, therefore you're going to jail. It's a criminal offense. It's intentional. So
it is intentional.
So I'm at least glad somebody's at least aware of what's going on.
Yeah, plenty of people are aware. It's just whether or not they can. It's just
whether
or not people can and will do something.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Oh boy.
step in the right direction.
It is a step in the right direction. You know what? I believe in us. I think that we can. I know that there is a threat going on against us right now, against us and our fellow members of the community. But I think that we are. I think that we can handle this. We can fight this. I'm confident in us.
Here's the thing. I know for a fact that if this stuff does go into effect, we're getting Stonewall 2 Electric Boogaloo. Like, we're going to be in the streets, bricks flying. Like, I know this is going to happen. I'm not calling anybody to acts of violence, but I do know that the protests will be loud and they will be en masse. So
you better hope that Judy Garland doesn't die again.
So, Kevin, that's so sad. Don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Kevin, by the way, speaking of dead women, you didn't mention anything about the like quote tweet that I posted on my Twitter the other day about our last episode.
I don't remember what it was.
I basically requote tweeted the episode, which I always do. You can follow me on.
Oh, wait, that's right. Yes. Wait, you were saying
I said something along the lines of, "What do Princess Diana and I have in common?" Kevin,
you're both blonde.
Correct. And I was like, now, Kevin, what do Princess Diana and I not have in common?
I don't think
I lived, bitch.
Oh my god.
I didn't want to go that. I only have 150 characters. I didn't want to go that far.
Oh my god.
But
see, you tried to get me. You tried to get me to say, "Oh, you both were in a car crash," and then you were gonna say, "No, we're both blonde, you monster."
Exactly.
But it's like, you're not gonna get me. You gotta get yourself.
Absolutely canceled.
And you did. And you did. I was gonna say, what do you guys not have in common? It's like she's royalty and you're not.
No. I'm a queen.
You're a man and she's a woman. She's married.
Let's move on. Don't you have more stories?
She has children. Nope. That was actually it. Oh. That concludes my segment of Sounds Gay I'm In. That is all of the news stories I have to share for this week. Except for one that has nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. Did you hear? You probably have heard about this because you commented on my TikTok about it. That California state senator that ate that girl's pet goat.
I saw this. It's some next level Harry Potter villain. Like, I mean, it's
he
like
he took a 9-year-old girl's goat.
Here's the thing.
Ate it.
Take Miss Hannigan. Take Miss Hannigan from Annie, Miss Gulch from The Wizard of Oz, little tiny dash of Hitler, and just like a smidgen of Ursula from The Little Mermaid. And you've got the level of villainy that this guy is like, I'm going to buy this 9-year-old's pet goat and eat it. It was so nuts. And I was like, what the fuck did I just read? Well, I mean, you obviously read it out loud, but I paused and read behind you.
Yeah. Like, apparently the girl was like a part of this program to like, prepare kids to like raise livestock, but she grew attached to the goat, and her parents tried to like, because the way the program was supposed to work is that like the kids are supposed to take care of the goat, and then it goes back to the fair, and then in the fair, the goats can be sold for slaughter, and the parents were trying to fight it, but they couldn't. And, the authorities took the goat without a warrant. And then the state senator, Brian Dale, or is it Dale or Dahl? I don't know how his name is pronounced, but either way, he's a monster because he took that goat, he barbecued it, and he ate it.
I swear to God, I know we're painting like quite a visceral picture. It's not like he barbecued it on her front lawn and forced her to watch.
He might as well have.
It's still really fucked up, though. It's so awful. Oh, God. I hope that little girl's doing okay. I hope that little girl goes into politics and airs on the right side of history. I hope this was the catalyst for her future.
I hope so.
God.
Yeah,
so great.
And now on Twitter, like literally under every single one of his tweets, like people are spamming his Twitter with like both memes about him eating children's pets. Like that meme of like Arthur like shoving the cake in his mouth, and it's like California State Senator Brian Dale, but our beloved pet, our cherished pets.
Oh my God.
That's like memes like that, and just straight up just pictures and gifs of goats.
Of course. Oh, God. That's one thing that I'm grateful for like Twitter and the internet is like you more or less have a direct line to these celebrities that you know are gonna see what you're saying. Like,
Mhm.
obviously they can like surf the internet with like discretion and be like, oh, I'm not gonna go in the comments today. But like, you know, years ago, like if you wanted to contact a celebrity, you had to like, you know, send a letter to the editor, so to speak, like their post office box, and then their agent would read the mail and then give it to them. Now it's just like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like, hey, fuck you. You ate this girl's goat.
I swear to God, that's incredible.
You ate a child's pet.
What was the goat's name?
His name was Cider.
Oh
Oh
no!
no,
That's
Cedar.
just
Cedar. The goat's name was Cedar. Sorry, not Cider. Cedar.
like cedar, like the tree.
Yes.
Oh, cedar.
Yeah.
Poor little baby. That's adorable. I love that. Well, I hope she does. I hope she recovers quickly, because this would cripple me emotionally if somebody ate my pet.
I mean, it probably has, but like, you know, yeah, hopefully she does go into politics after this, and to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else ever again.
Could you imagine?
Could you imagine?
Speaking of terrible people, let's talk about Miss Gwyneth Paltrow again.
Oh yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow. She won her trial, and she won a cash prize of $1.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money.
Kevin, please. The whole
Shout
thing
out to
with
Lee
this trial,
Dawson.
First of all, what was the point of this trial? Because I knew it was involving a skiing accident. Somebody got hit on the slopes, and I don't know who did the hitting, who got hit. Because
allegedly, okay, this is from what I know. Allegedly, Gwyneth Paltrow hit this man, who I think he was a dentist, like while skiing, like while they were both skiing, and she crashed into him and just kept skiing. Like apparently it was a skiing hit and run.
Huh.
So like allegedly that's what happened, and I don't really know why he won, because apparently maybe that's not the way the story actually went out. I don't know. I'm not really following the trial too. Okay, hold on. Pod Daddy is clarifying it. Paltrow was in court this week over allegations she crashed into retired optometrist. Okay, optometrist. All right, my bad. Terry Sanderson on a Park City, Utah ski slope, breaking his ribs and causing permanent brain damage. Paltrow instead claims that Sanderson crashed into her and filed a counterclaim, seeking just $1 in damages and attorney's fees.
That's like a next level, like, I don't need this money. I just want to waste your time. And that's kind of an all-encompassing, like, that seems exactly like the type of person Gwyneth Paltrow is. I hate her.
It's so ironic when you watch her in like the Marvel movies, like because like, in case you don't know, she plays quite a big role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Pepper Potts, aka the girlfriend then wife of Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Dr. And it's Pepper. So funny how she's like the most normal person in this universe full of crazy superpowered people. She's like the most normal person in the MCU. And yet in real life, she's fucking nuts.
The woman who's selling vaginal bath bombs is the sane one in this scenario.
She's playing. I mean, I guess it just goes to show how good of an actress she is, because like you would never fucking know by just watching her movies that she's right. Nuts.
Oh God. But I think like the funniest thing I saw was the takeaway when people were cross-examining her, talking about like, how did you suffer emotionally from this traumatic event? And she says, without a hint of irony, well, I lost a half a day of skiing. And I'm supposed to like start bawling. Like, oh my God, that poor little girl.
I know.
Get fucked, Gwyneth.
I think that she knows that. I think that she knows like that. I think that she knows on some level that the things that she says are crazy. Like,
she has to.
And then of course, after on her way out of the courtroom for the final time, Paltrow again caused social media fervor by whispering in Sanderson's ear, "I wish you well," which he responded, "Thank you, dear."
Oh, don't get near my ear. Don't. Oh God.
I wish you. People are like making memes of her saying, "Hail Hydra."
I saw that. Yeah.
See, you get that. You don't even watch the Marvel movies.
The Lannisters send their regards.
The Lannisters send their regards. Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm glad the trial's over because I was sick of it flooding up my TikTok feed, but it was funny while I was watching
Yeah.
like all
Oh,
the
yeah.
reactions.
That one lady who was like, "How tall are you?" "I'm just under 5'10", but I'm shrinking. And she's like, "I'm so jealous of you."
Did you see
Oh
that one
no.
where the one cross-examiner was like, "Are you good friends with Taylor Swift?"
Yeah. It's like,
I don't know how that pertains to the case,
what
but
does that have to do with anything? It's so funny.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that was. I'm so glad it's finally over because
It's over.
the less I have to see of Gwyneth, the better. Oh god, her and her acidic vagina.
Her and her IVs too.
And her weird. I could go on and on about how much I hate her, but I have a hyperfixation to get into, Kevin.
Okay, yes. Let's move on.
This is a story that actually, like, I discovered the story through a friend of the channel, Tori of the Oz Vlog, who we did have on several episodes in the past. And she posted a TikTok recently about one of the craziest stories that I've heard in a while. Obviously, I've had some crazy stories on this show, but this one I thought was so interesting, and I was like, I got to talk about it on Pretty Serial. So, Kevin, any guesses what the story could possibly be? I tagged you in it, so
You did. I know exactly what it is, but
I know.
I'm just
But
gonna say
let's
it's
pretend to be surprised by the facts I'm about to spit at you. Okay,
okay.
We're creating content here.
So this is a story about how
once upon a time there was a little girl. Anyway,
once upon a time, there was a little girl named Eloise who lives in the plaza in New York. What?
Stop. No. Today we're going to be talking about Mother of the Gays, Judy Garland, once again. But today we're going to be talking about a very specific moment in her life when she was awarded the Juvenile Oscar for Best Juvenile Actress in a Film in 1940 for her film The Wizard of Oz, because what else am I going to talk about? So when she was 16 years old, well, actually 17 years old, she was awarded the Juvenile Oscar because she was not, quote unquote, old enough to get the Best Actress Oscar. Also, nobody really took that movie seriously. It's a fantasy musical. Like, people are just like, oh, it's a good movie, but
So,
like...
hold on, pause for a second.
Yeah.
When did the Academy, like, decide to get rid of the age limit?
I think somewhere in the 50s. I should have looked that up before I did this.
Because, like, obviously they don't have that. They don't have that today, or at least not for like the past
for at least the past 20 years. They haven't
past
been
20
like,
years.
oh, the kids Oscars.
Quvenzhané Wallis, like, she got nominated when she was 8 for Beast.
And I believe she still holds the record for the youngest person to be nominated for that award, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, which is crazy.
But yeah, in 1940, Judy was awarded the Juvenile Oscar for The Wizard of Oz. And fun fact, our friend of the channel, Tori, actually got to see the statue that Judy received at the 100th birthday celebration for Judy and the launch of the Judy fragrance.
Oh, did she now?
She did. She got photos of it in the case, and she was all fangirly and being like, oh my God, look what I get to see. But Kevin, what would you say if I told you the statue in the case was not the original statue?
So she didn't see it then.
So, don't diminish her day, okay?
But that's what I was trying to get to when I said, oh, did she now? You were supposed to be like, well, actually,
I hate being that person that's like, actually, it's
but like that plot twist.
That is the crux of the story. No, because
it's a plot twist. It's a plot twist of the story. Anyway, just go on. Go on.
So, in 1958, after like several decades have passed at this point, several decades, listen to me, like almost like 19 years have passed, Judy's third husband, and then at the time her manager, Sid Luft. Spoiler alert: Sid Luft is not the greatest person on the planet. I think.
Yes, if you follow Tori's TikTok, you would know that he's like I've learned from her about what a terrible person Sid Luft is. I never even knew about Sid Luft before watching her vlog.
Absolutely, like you wouldn't think about it because the icon in this relationship is Judy and their daughter Liza Minnelli.
Yes,
or I'm sorry, or Lorna Luft and. That's another story. Anyway, Sid Luft calls up the Academy of Motion Picture Sciences and blah, blah, blah. He says, hey, my wife's Oscar statuette for The Wizard of Oz has been lost or stolen. We would like you to issue us a new statuette. Now, this is a big thing. These statues are like, more or less gold. I mean, maybe not literally gold, but like They're valuable. They're not possible to be obtained by people other than people who have been nominated for the award. So they're like, okay, I guess we'll give you a new statue, but you're going to have to do something funny for us. Judy Garland is the first person to sign the right of refusal agreement. What this basically means is before she will give you the new statue. However, if you wish to sell the statue, before you do that, you have to call up the Motion Picture Academy and offer to sell it to us for $10. Because they don't want these statues hitting the free market. They don't, because if anybody could just buy one, what the fuck is the point of the Oscars? Like, they don't want these hitting, anybody's hands. So she has to call up and say, hey, I want to sell my Oscar. You want it for $10? 9 times out of 10, they'll probably say yes. They'll take it back and it won't hit the market. But Judy Garland's the first person to sign this agreement. They then issue her a new statuette in replacement of the one that went missing. Now, 1969, Judy Garland dies. The whole world stops turning, and we move on eventually. 1993 rolls around. Christie's famous auction house gets what Sid Luft is now claiming is Judy's original Oscar from the 1940 Academy Awards. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? That went missing. The Academy sues to stop the auction because they're like, something's not right here. You're either lying or you're lying. We got to figure out which it is. So the Academy sues to stop the auction, and the statue is verified. And Academy sues to stop the auction. The statue is authenticated as the replacement one that was issued in the 1950s. All right, they're like, okay, you cannot sell the statue at auction. You can sell it back to us for the $10 that Judy assigned the agreement for, but you cannot put it up for auction. That's not acceptable. So he says, okay, I'll just take the statue back and put it back in my collection. We'll move on. Now, let's fast forward a couple other years. The year is now 2000. Another auction comes up, and Sid Luft says, I have this statue. This isn't the replacement statue. This is the original statue that Judy received in 1940. And now the price for this statue is going up for $3 million. That's a pretty hefty price tag, I would say, right? $3 million for a piece of, I don't know, metal. I don't even know if it's gold. The Academy sues again to stop the auction, and now they launch an investigation into the authenticity of the statue. While this investigation is going on, Sid Luft says, oh, wait, this isn't the real original. I don't even know where the original is. This one's just a copy that was made by my friend. Kevin, why the fuck would anybody pay $3 million for a copy of an Oscar statue?
I don't know.
Not even like a copy made by the Academy, a copy made by Sid Luft's friend, being like, oh yeah, I do metal work in my spare time. Let me mold and cast your dead wife's Oscar. It's completely fraud. It's like I said, Sid Luft is not a good person. Anyway, the Academy then hires a private investigator to pose as a memorabilia hunter, who then approaches Sid Luft and says, hey, I want to buy that statue you were going to auction off at Christie's. However, I would like you to authenticate it to prove that it's the original statue. Yada, yada, yada. All it goes through. It does prove that this is the original statue that supposedly went missing in 1958. Like, now people are like spinning their heads around and like, holy shit, like, what was lost was found. Yeah, it's an amazing discovery. Sid Luft is now ordered to hand over all copies of the Oscar that have been made. First of all, these Oscars were given to Judy Garland. Not for nothing. Why the fuck do you have them? You guys divorced. Like, she made it very clear that you did not have a happy marriage. Why the fuck do you have her Oscar? So they ordered him to hand over all statues and copies that had been made, because it is, again, fraud. And then he hands over the copies, he hands over the replacement. But then when they say, you want the original, he says, I'm being harassed. You guys are harassing me. I shouldn't have to deal with this harassment. And that's always like, a really fun thing to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
The replacement statue ended up with Judy's children, Liza, Lorna, and the boy whose name I can't remember. I don't know. I'm very sorry, Mr. Luft. And then Sid possibly either kept or even maybe sold the original because he's a piece of shit. So now, once again, we are back into lost media. It's not a piece of media, but it's an artifact that is now lost to time. Judy Garland's original Oscar. The only thing you can see is the replacement statue that was issued to her in the 1950s, which is currently on display, I believe, at the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences in California.
Okay, so why was a replacement issued to her in the first place again?
Because Sid called up the Academy and said, hey, the original is missing. Can you send us another one?
Oh, that's why. Okay.
He started this scam early on. He's like, I'll just have two. Because he realized, like, his wife's big claim to fame was The Wizard of Oz. He's like, what if I just doubled that? Cut open the golden goose, so to speak. And it was, they also mentioned when they issued that replacement statue, it was visibly taller than the joke with the original juvenile Oscar was it was smaller than a regular Oscar statuette because it was for juveniles. The replacement one.
You almost said something bad.
What did I say?
Nothing. Just
okay. But the original was supposed to be smaller because it was supposed to look like a juvenile, like a person, child, whatever. The replacement statue was a little bit taller because they didn't really make the small ones anymore. They're like, several years have passed. We just do regular Oscars now, so this is what you're getting. But yeah, so that's another thing. If you're at a garage sale and you see what looks like an Oscar, snatch it up. You never know if it might be Judy Garland's Oscar from the 1940s.
So, but
piece of shit. That's the takeaway here.
But you think it's possible that one of his kids, one of his and Judy's kids, could have the Oscar?
The one that his and Judy's kids have in their possession is confirmed to be the replacement that was issued in 1958. The original one that she received is still missing, and it's highly likely that he has it in his effects. Well, I mean, he has since passed on.
So what's the one that's on display then?
That's the one that's owned by Judy's kids. They donated it to be seen at the 100th birthday and the fragrance launch.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, well, they didn't donate it. They put it on loan. They're not just like, hey, why don't you have it? Could you imagine? But that was my hyperfixation of the week. A little bit of white collar true crime for you, and a little fruit flavoring in there.
Where's the statue? Where's the statue? Where's Buzzy?
Where's Kevin? We found Buzzy. Did you know that?
Oh, we did? When?
Okay, first of all, for anybody that doesn't know what the hell Kevin's talking about, there is an ongoing, well, not even anymore, but there was a scandal several years ago with an animatronic from Disney World's Epcot, character by the name of Buzzy, who I believe was from Horizons.
No, he was
Body
from
Wars.
No, Cranium Command.
Cranium Command, that was it. Okay, it was a character from this defunct ride.
Well, it wasn't a ride, it was a show.
Oh, Kevin, please with the semantics. Okay. Anyway, I say that, but I'm gonna get you for semantics later on in this episode, probably. But yeah, no, he was an animatronic that when the whole building went defunct, like the entirety of like Wonders of the Human Body or whatever the fuck it is, went defunct and just sat there abandoned. The only people that could see these animatronics were cast members and employees of the Walt Disney Company. And, cast members are going to take pictures backstage. That's what they do. That's, the entire thing. One day, somebody goes back there and the animatronic is just gone. Not even replaced, ripped up from the base of where it was sitting and just like destroyed, like getting taken out of there. Everybody was freaking out. The company's freaking out because that's like a multiple $1,000 animatronic. That's a heavy loss.
Yeah.
You didn't think they would care the way they treated it by just abandoning it. But yeah, that was like a campaign of being like, who stole Buzzy? Where is Buzzy? I believe it was found by like a cast member had stolen him, and they found it in their apartment and they seized it, and he is back. Yeah. He's not on display or anything because again, his show is defunct, but
well, they could at least display him at like D23 or something.
Possibly, but people want to see like the shiny, pretty preserved stuff at D23. They're not going to be like, "Hi, I'm Freddy Fazbear." That's like they don't want to see that shit at D23.
Yeah, that corpse of the Stitch animatronics not going to be there. That infamous photo of the Stitch animatronic.
I love that Stitch animatronic because that photo came out maybe 2 weeks after Stitch's Great Escape like closed. They just skinned the animatronics or like move the fuck on. Yeah. Oh god, it was great. I hated that ride.
Oh my god, thing. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't great. They should bring back Alien Encounter.
That's I disagree, but that's another story.
Well, they got to put something in that building instead of just a character meet and greet area.
Well, it was going. There were plans for it to become a Wreck-It Ralph animatronic interactive show, a la like kind of like, I guess, a Smuggler's Run. Like, you know, you're guiding Vanellope through a racetrack and like avoiding shit like that.
Okay, that sounds like that could be fun.
I don't think it actually went through though. That was just like a purported suggestion, and it never went through. And now it's just a meet and greet. And I think they're using the actual ride space for storage or something else. I don't know, but they're not going to move forward with replacing it anytime soon.
That's a shame because that building's just sitting there.
Absolutely wasted space. Disney loves to waste the space that they have.
Have they not gotten rid of the Tomorrowland Speedway?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I hate that thing so much.
I hate it so much. No, you don't hate it more than I do.
I don't hate it more than you do?
No, I hate it more than you do. That is my least favorite Disney World attraction. It is garbage. It's there's always a huge line on there. It smells off. It smells like gasoline. Just perfumates through the air. And then when you actually get on the ride, not only is it uncomfortable, but the cars go like 2 miles an hour, and there's always some kid who's blocking everything off. It's just why is it still there?
And like, you know, speaking as somebody that knows people that actually worked at that attraction, every hour you will have a cast member out on the track being like, hey, sweetie, could you maybe go? Like, you're holding up the fucking people behind you, and they're just like, no, I think I'll park here. It's the worst. It's the actual worst attraction in, I would say, the entirety of Walt Disney World.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's the worst attraction in all of Walt Disney World.
Close second is Dinosaur.
Fuck you.
Kevin loves Dinosaur.
Yes, I do love Dinosaur, bitch. And so do a lot of people.
That explains the dinosaur butt that I see on your bed right now. You got two dinosaurs like doing like a very passionate like Jack and Rose makeout sort of like a forbidden love going on in the background of your video.
There's not enough room on the door for both of them.
The Carnotaur has to go first. Oh Lord. Oh,
Connor,
God.
they can't both fit on the door. They tried and they both fell off of it. Did you not see the movie?
Me?
Yes.
I did not see Dinosaur. No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing as Titanic. Except more socialism.
Oh God, Kevin, do we have any more stories we would like to talk about?
I don't think so. Not this week. No.
I think we've exhausted our time.
We have.
I just want to get out of this wig. Let's get this over with.
Yes.
All right.
Let's get out of drag.
Absolutely. D-drag with us. Thank you so much for joining us this week on Fruity Cereal. I had so much fun being here. Next week, I will have 2 eyes. I promise. And I don't know about Kevin.
Another crash.
Kevin, what the fuck? Why would you say that?
Oh my God. I'm sorry. That
was completely uncalled for.
It was. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Maybe next week I'll just jump out a window. Maybe that'll keep Kevin happy. Join us next Monday at 7 p.m. on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. Also, don't forget, you can now listen to our podcast wherever you download your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Acast. And as always, you can find the video format on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network on YouTube.
If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit a like on the video and leave a comment.
Please leave a comment. We love engaging with you. Unless you're mean to us, then I'm going to make fun of you.
You know what?
Kevin's cutting out. Thank you so much for joining us. I love how like the more like disheveled the wig comes, it kind of looks a little bit more natural. It's like actually on the hairline now. But anyway, thank you again.
The bangs are
atrocious. Again, I don't half-ass anything except for everything.
It kind of makes you look like Connor. Don't take this the wrong way, but it kind of makes you look like Big Jack Horner from Puss in Boots.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I hate you. That was a hate crime. Kevin, I will see you next Monday at 7 p.m.
Well, before you do, Connor, where can people find you?
My social media is the same across all social media. Connor K Fitz 92.
And you can follow me anywhere at It's Kevin O'Lear. That's ITSKEVINOLEAR.
Fantastic. Once again, you can follow Fruity Cereal across all social media at Fruity Cereal. Fruity like the fruit, cereal like the number.
Or the killer if you're edgy.
You make fun of me when I say it and it's not October. Anyway, But
said if you're
although
edgy.
you can currently buy tickets to Halloween Horror Nights, so it is in season.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you again so much. We will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Right? Same time, same
7
place.
p.m. Catch you there.
Have a good night. Stay
Bye.
fruity.